I turned a 4-year hobby into a real-life challenge to become the first to photograph and document every kingfisher species in the world. Last week, we spent 3 days to find our very first endemic species of Sulawesi. But today, we are going to try and find 3 endemic species inside Tangkoko National Park. We will follow Stefan, a local guide who contacted me through my Instagram videos and offered to help me to become the first to find every kingfisher in the world. Tangkoko is a name shared by 3 different places. First, there is Mount Tangkoko, a volcano. It's dominating the region and surrounded by Tangkoko Nature Reserve, one of the oldest protected areas in Indonesia. At the entrance of the reserve stands Tangkoko village, a small coastal community living in the shadow of the volcano. The village is tiny. The furthest houses are only a few minutes walk from the beach, which every late afternoon turns into a playground for local kids. The villagers mostly live from fishing, and teenagers drive boats as naturally as they ride a bicycle. Tangkoko Nature Reserve is famous for incredible biodiversity. The forest shelters countless bird species along with one of the smallest primates on the earth, the spectral tarsier, a tiny nocturnal animal barely 12 centimeters long. But the true icons of the reserve are the Sulawesi crested black macaques. Highly intelligent and deeply social, these monkeys live in a complex hierarchical groups. But today, they are critically endangered, and Tangkoko remains one of the last places where they are protected in the wild. Because the volcano is close to the ocean, centuries of erosion have covered the shoreline with black volcanic sand. And right now, there is only one thing I hope for, that the kingfisher we are able to track down in this jungle will carry colors as much mesmerizing as a white sea foam disappearing against the darkness of this beach.
How are you? Nice to meet you, brother.
Stefan, right?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
So, how was your sleep last night?
Sleep very well, but very exciting for this morning.
Wow, that's really cool.
Are you?
Me too.
Cool.
Well, looking your stuff, your style. What about drinking water?
We have a scooter.
All right, that's perfect.
And a bag.
And then you don't really want to check your breakfast maybe before?
No, I think it's okay for now. We don't drink. You don't eat so much in the morning, so.
Same as me. Only
Yeah?
coffee and smoke and
Same
that's
as
it.
Same as Sweta.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go.
Thank
Let's
you.
go.
Thank
You
you.
get with the scooter. I have my scooter.
Maybe.
We'll see how fast we can get the kingfisher.
No problem. No worries. We are.
As long as we can find the kingfisher.
Okay.
Right.
We have all the time.
Yes.
Okay, cool. We follow you.
I will wait in front.
Stefan is taking us to a place where the first species he wants to show us live. It's outside the nature reserve because this very small kingfisher likes very quiet and hidden areas. It's probably the most difficult of the 3 to spot, and it could take us 20 minutes or more than 3 hours to find it. That's why it makes more sense to start with this species while we still have plenty of time. Got a lot of pictures in your Instagram. They are all from you. Huh?
So we cross the river and then
Okay, okay.
like this. From the palm tree,
Ah.
you can see it. They make steps with the bamboo tree. So they get the water from palm to make palm sugar, brown
Okay.
sugar,
Yeah.
and then alcohol.
Yeah. What's the name again?
Chapticus.
Septicus.
Have you tried before?
Yes.
How was it? Strong?
A bit, yeah. You can see the steps. The most important palm tree of Sulawesi, because you will understand why. As you see, this is a ladder, so you used to climb up, and here there is a bottle, no? This bottle actually is just under this. You see this grab of fruit, so it's a palm tree. It's not coconut. I don't remember the name of this. When you cut it, there's a sap coming out from this, and the sap become alcohol. So they make a very strong alcohol with it. So it's why I say it's the most important tree for Sulawesi people, because they love it. They like to offer you some everywhere you go. Because uphill here?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
It's flew.
It took Stefan 15 minutes through the jungle to reach the place that he knows the kingfisher are. Almost every species are very sedentary. They will always live at the same place and, if it's possible, nesting on the same nest. And after 25 minutes, I finally can see him a bit through the long grass. My picture is awful, but inside me I'm already in heaven. Some species are so hard to see that I will be more than happy to be back home with this picture as a proof. But this little one doesn't seem that much unsocial, and Stefan will do his best to track it until I get to see his full color potential. It's 32 degrees, more than 90% humidity, and the ants are battening our legs. But personally, I enjoy a lot these constraints all along my way. It's probably my mindset in life, as the comfort often makes me feel sick.
Magnifique. See the palm leaves, the dead one?
Got it.
Oh, sorry. It's flew down.
Yeah. After 50 minutes of sweating, we now have a better picture. But we still are not completely satisfied. The reason is simple. We know that most species of dwarf-kingfishers have a colorful stripe running along their back. And that's exactly what we really want to see and to show you. I think it's also a really good way to understand what birdwatching is really like. Photographing a bird is not always the hardest part, but seeing it from the angle that values its color the most is often much more complicated. So always remember, behind the perfect picture, there can be hours of work. Behind the perfect video as well, so... And after 1 hour and 20 minutes, we finally get to see it in a perfect perch. The Sulawesi Dwarf-Kingfisher from the front and from the back. Let's try to understand a bit more about the Dwarf-Kingfishers because there is many of them. The Sulawesi Dwarf-Kingfisher is now the 28th species of kingfisher I have photographed. Every species of Dwarf-Kingfisher belongs to the subfamily CX, which comes from a Greek legend where CX was a king transformed into a kingfisher. CX is the second biggest subfamily of kingfisher with 23 species. That means 20% of the kingfisher are Dwarf-Kingfisher. The Dwarf-Kingfisher are very well adapted to survive. They are not dependent for water sources and fishes. They can live deep in the jungle, hunting for every kind of insect, or frogs, or lizards, whatever they can. And as their name suggests, they are the smallest kingfisher species. And some of them are the less documented species of every kingfisher, for two main reasons. The first reason is they are very shy and adapted to live away from water sources inside the jungle, so they are very difficult to find. But the most important reason is many species live around Papua New Guinea and the Solomon Islands, places where nobody goes. There is no tourist and only few specialized birdwatching companies offer tours there. But keep in mind, I might have found a way to bring you there very soon. But for now, let's keep exploring.
We do like howl.
While tracking the Sulawesi dwarf, I took a very bad picture of a very interesting behavior. Kingfishers, like owls and other birds, throw back the food they can't digest, like bones and hairs, in a regurgitating pellet. Hello.
Hello. Big ticket?
Yes, please.
100 per person?
Yes, 2.
It's for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, 200.
Thank you.
Okay.
Batu.
The Wallace statue?
Water statue?
Wallace statue.
Wallace. Oh
Wallace,
yeah,
yeah.
cool.
You know,
Oh, there is Wallace statue.
From here to the parking lot, it will take about less than 700 meters.
Okay.
And it's only about 300, even less than 300. And then from the Wallace to research station about less than 1 kilometer.
Okay. So almost 2 okay.
And then this is the main path. So everybody follow to looking for the animals, and then after that we have like small trekking inside the jungle
Okay.
to walk deep into the jungle to find the hornbill.
A bit deeper, huh?
Yeah, to find the bear couscous.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this bear couscous is bigger than the normal couscous, huh?
Yeah, the bear couscous, it's about 50 centimeters, the longest body,
Okay.
and the dwarf couscous smaller than that.
So there's no small couscous in Sulawesi, only bear couscous?
We have Sulawesi dwarf couscous.
Oh,
but
see,
it's,
as well, okay.
Yeah, really
Okay.
difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Nocturnal.
Okay, cool. Unfortunately, the main trekking path inside the nature reserve also follows the main village road outside the reserve. So, while you are trying to be quiet to observe a bird, you suddenly hear a crazy chainsaw noise and loud modified scooter exhaust. That's exactly what you don't want during a bird watching journey. We just found the green-backed kingfisher. He's just perched 10 meters from us. He's hunting prey in the ground. Look. And he's taking lizard or little insects and coming back to perch. We have like incredible picture, very, very close. Let's welcome to our family the 20th species, the green-backed kingfisher. And even if the rooster is the national symbol of my country, I wish to cook the one which is ruining my video.
The split because of the, let's call it like, because they found the black-headed, actually greenback, in like central Sulawesi.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have black-headed.
Yeah.
And then they split between blue-headed and black-headed.
So officially already split? Or
Yeah.
or
Already.
I think no, it's just a subspecies, no?
Subspecies, this one,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
The subspecies.
At the end of the episode, we will have a little talk between you and me about what I think about national park. But now, let's focus about the green-backed kingfisher, because guys, we know a photograph 29 species of kingfisher. The first thing that really surprised me is the sound of his call, this very long. It's the first time I listened this in every kingfisher species I've seen before. Despite he have a very distinguished blue head, his name is the greenback, and it's very interesting as well because I think green is the rarest color in every kingfisher species. There is this very famous subfamily in America where is 4 green kingfishers, but through Africa and Asia, I don't think there's a lot of them. Maybe 2 or 3 species with some greenish patterns, but it's very rare color inside the kingfisher. And at one point, Stephen was talking about the subspecies, and if this is true, this green-backed kingfisher is named as a blue-headed green-backed kingfisher because in central Sulawesi there is another subspecies with the black-headed green kingfisher. So there's 2 kingfisher with blue in the one side and the black in the other side look totally different, but belong to the same species. For now, just subspecies. Maybe in the future they will be split, I'm not sure, because the blackhead is in central Sulawesi, a place where nobody really go, so there's not a lot of science around them, and I don't know if they will split them or not. The future will tell us. Good, very cool.
Lilac.
But very like amazing. He was not shy at all. Like we stay like a long time. Huh? Also used to people, no?
Used to people. Oh, no. Really close.
Oh, wow.
You see?
Yeah. Wait. Have you noticed what I have seen? They do not open the bill to song. They are like It's incredible. I didn't even know a kingfisher was doing this. I have only seen one time these features before on another species in northeast of India in a golden-throated barbet. But for this species, you have two hair pockets here, and it's like to make like a resonance, to make a lot of noise. But this lilac kingfisher is more about, because you sleep deep in a forest, is like a behavior adapted to doesn't move, like to sing without being seen. So it's really like almost motionless, just adapted to survive.
Sulawesi Lilac Kingfisher.
Success! Thank you. We now have reached 30 species of kingfisher photograph. It's a very amazing point, and is also one less than my age. And this 30th is a very cool one because lilac is a name for a shade of purple. So this Sulawesi lilac kingfisher is a bit purplish. I know there's two lilac kingfisher, this one and one in a small island in the north of Sulawesi. One place I wish I will bring you, not now, but later when I will have more resources to make a great, better documentary, because it's a very remote place where nobody goes and there's a lot of interesting things to search there. So this Sulawesi lilac kingfisher and the Sangihe lilac kingfisher belong to the same subspecies, and they are the only one inside this subspecies. I know that the Sangihe lilac got a bit more purplish than the Sulawesi lilac, but what I didn't know was purple iris. So I'm very surprised. I didn't know at all about this, and I'm very happy to observe this purple kingfisher. Right now we are seeing the 3 species of kingfisher in Sulawesi. I don't know which one is my favorite one. Please let me know in comment. I will be happy to talk with you about your favorite and why, what is the reason about it. But wait, we have not finished about Sulawesi, because there is something very interesting inside Tangkoko Natural Park. This is a statue of Wallace, a very famous Dutch naturalist who discovered a very interesting naturalist phenomenon called the Wallace Line. So the Wallace Line is a very interesting imaginary lane invented by Wallace, and is splitting Indonesia in 2 parts. To remember well, is going through between Bali and Lombok, 2 very famous islands. It's a virtual lane theorized by Wallace in 1860 approximately, and Wallace was a British, not Dutch, was British, sorry, naturalist. And he discovered something very interesting, is this lane is not actually splitting Indonesia in 2 parts, it's splitting Asia and Australasia. That means that almost every species of animals in the west of Wallace doesn't exist in the east of Wallace. So it makes a very big difference between the flora and fauna of Asia and Australasia for many reasons, like for the deep ocean currents, also like the landscape is very different, so it means the bird who like rainforest in one side cannot survive in the other side, and many other reasons is not exactly sure why. Scientists still try to find more reason, but it's very interesting, and there's already a lot of documentary about it on YouTube, so I recommend you to watch it if you like this kind of very amazing theory. If you enjoy this episode, don't forget to like and follow me. It's very important to help me to grow my channel. And right now, the preview of the next episode. I see you soon for more Kingfisher stories. Oh my god, I've been so care. Like, birds, boys, what you gonna do? Need some advices for the Paris Fashion Week 2026? Just ask me. Very, very cool.